Suburban Sentinel here, along with Bella the camera cat, and today I want to make a little video on police misconduct. I was having a conversation with one of my subs, and he was curious as to why he sees a pattern of police officers and or police departments engaging in wrongful behavior, getting sued in the process in both the department's name and the individual's name, having to pay out money on these civil suits, and repeating the same acts of misconduct. And that's a very interesting topic, one I believe I can shed some light on. So why is it that police officers who lose civil cases for acts of misconduct seem undeterred and commit the same or similar acts of misconduct? Well, government agencies at the federal, state, and local levels often have a duty of indemnification for their employees. What is indemnification? Well, essentially it's legal mumbo jumbo for the duty of shifting a cost or economic burden from one person or entity to another person or entity. A while back they were doing some heavy-duty construction around here, and a contractor was operating one of those enormous double-tracked power shovels near the roadway. Of course, they had a police presence directing traffic, and the power shovel was being operated on one side of a blind curve in the road. Well, one of the cops directing traffic screwed up and waved a car that had been waiting through. Well, unfortunately, it was at the wrong time, and the business end of the power shovel and this compact car tried to occupy the same space at the same time. Unfortunately, the driver of the car was killed as a result. The driver's estate sued the town and the police officer and won. Now, under state statute, the town is required to indemnify the police officer for all acts of negligence. So the town had to pay the entire amount of the judgment that had been entered against both the police officer and the town. Now that covers ordinary negligence. In many cases, the statutes do not cover indemnification for intentional acts or acts of gross negligence or recklessness. It depends a lot on the state and the government entity, but quite often the government entity has no duty of indemnification for those sort of acts. Oftentimes, these acts of police misconduct are either intentional or reckless in nature. Take, for example, situations we see all the time where police officers are beating up suspects that are already handcuffed and are already in the patrol car, or that one instance out in California, I think it was last year, where two LA cops opened fire on two diminutive Asian ladies delivering newspapers while in hot pursuit of a large black man who is a murder suspect, that sort of thing. So you may ask, well, why are they being indemnified, if they are being indemnified, when these are clearly intentional or reckless acts? The truth is that government agencies almost always choose to indemnify their employees for all but the most egregious of acts of misconduct. And why is that? Well, first of all, it's not always easy to tell the difference between ordinary negligence and recklessness. There's a lot of gray area in there. So rather than facing two issues in court, governments often just indemnify their employees as a matter of course. Second, certain agencies within government, namely police departments, are politically connected. Police can deliver a lot of votes to politicians, and they, in most cases, have strong unions. So governments want to keep their police departments happy for the most part. The result is that when a police officer commits an act of misconduct and the officer and the government agency are sued, what will happen is the government agency will be responsible for providing a lawyer for the police officer, and if they lose in court or there's a settlement, the government agency will have to pay the tab. In addition, the time spent in fighting the suit for the police officer is most often on the clock. So they're getting paid to fight the suit. So in essence, it doesn't cost the police officer who sued in his own name one dime, no matter what happens. So, because the officer quite often has no skin in the game, so to speak, civil suits are not really a deterrent to officer misconduct. So there you have it. This is the Suburban Sentinel. Please thumbs up and subscribe if you like what you see. Questions and enlightening comments are always welcome. Bella is still asleep over there. She hasn't moved. Be safe, everybody.